What if I told you that your struggles, your joys, and even the smallest actions you take are all part of a vast cosmic web, binding you to everything and everyone around you? In Stoicism, this concept is called Sympthia, and it may hold the key to finding deeper meaning and purpose in our lives. Let's explore how understanding this ancient idea can change the way we see the world and our place in it. In the bustling streets of ancient Rome, a young philosopher named Lucius walked with purpose, his sandals clicking against cobblestones. As he made his way through the Forum, he couldn't help but marvel at the intricate tapestry of life unfolding before him. Lucius paused near the Temple of Saturn, observing a group of merchants haggling over the price of exotic spices. A smile played on his lips as he noticed how the raised voice of one trader caused a ripple effect, subtly altering the postures and expressions of those around him. This, he thought, the interconnectedness of all things. As he continued his journey, Lucius encountered a beggar, huddled in an alleyway. Without hesitation, he reached into his satchel and offered the man a loaf of bread. The beggar's eyes lit up with gratitude, and Lucius felt a warmth spread through his chest. He realized that in helping another, he had also helped himself, for they were both part of the same cosmic organism. Seeking a moment of tranquility, Lucius made his way to a small garden tucked away from the city's chaos. There, he sat beneath an ancient olive tree, its gnarled branches reaching towards the sky. As a gentle breeze rustled the leaves, he closed his eyes. In this moment of stillness, Lucius reflected on the words of his mentor: meditate often on the interconnectedness and mutual interdependence of all things in the universe. He imagined the invisible threads that bound him to the tree, to the earth beneath him, and to every living being in Rome and beyond. As the sun began to set, Lucius found himself back in the marketplace. He watched as a young boy accidentally knocked over a merchant's carefully arranged display of pottery. The merchant's face contorted with anger, his hand raised as if to strike the child. Without thinking, Lucius stepped forward, placing a calming hand on the merchant's shoulder. "My friend," he said softly, "remember that we are all part of something greater than ourselves. This boy's mistake is but a small ripple in the vast ocean of existence." The merchant's anger melted away, replaced by a look of understanding. He helped the boy to his feet, and together they began to clean up the broken pieces. Lucius smiled, knowing he had witnessed a profound example of sympathy, the recognition of our shared humanity and interconnectedness. That night, as Lucius lay on the roof of his modest home, gazing at the stars, he contemplated the vastness of the universe. He thought about how the light from distant suns had traveled unimaginable distances to reach his eyes, and how his own actions, no matter how small, could have far-reaching consequences. He recalled the words of Marcus Aurelius: "The universe made rational creatures for the sake of each other, with an eye toward mutual benefit, based on true value and never for harm." Lucius realized that Sympthia was not just a philosophical concept, but a practical guide for living a virtuous and meaningful life. The next morning, Lucius awoke with a renewed sense of purpose. He understood that every interaction, every decision was an opportunity to embody the principle of Sympthia. As he went about his day, he made a conscious effort to treat each person he encountered as an extension of himself. He offered a kind word to a harried mother struggling with her children, shared his water with a thirsty laborer, and lent an ear to a friend burdened by grief. With each act, he felt the ripples of his actions spreading outward, touching lives in ways he could not fully comprehend. As the day drew to a close, Lucius found himself in a quiet grove outside the city walls. There, he came across a beekeeper tending to his hives. Fascinated, he watched as the bees worked in perfect harmony. The beekeeper, noticing Lucius's interest, approached him. "You see, young philosopher," he said with a knowing smile, "these bees understand what many humans forget. Bad for the hive, bad for the bee. Lucius nodded, recognizing the profound truth in the old man's words. He saw, in the beehive, a microcosm of the entire universe. As he made his way back to the city, Lucius felt a deep sense of peace. He understood now that Sympthia was not just an abstract concept, but a living, breathing reality. It was the very fabric of existence, binding all things together in a cosmic dance of mutual interdependence. From that day forward, he taught others to see beyond there, and though he knew the true understanding of this concept was a lifelong journey, he found joy in each small step towards cosmic consciousness. As the sun dipped below the horizon, long shadows across the Forum Romanum, Lucius, our young philosopher from the previous tale, found himself deep in conversation with his mentor, the venerable Seneca. Their discussion had meandered through various Stoic principles, but now it turned to the concept of Sympthia. Seneca, his eyes twinkling with wisdom, posed a challenge to his pupil. Lucius, you have grasped the essence of Sympthia, but now I ask you to teach it to another, for in teaching, we often learn the deepest truths ourselves. Lucius nodded, accepting the challenge with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. Little did he know that this task would lead him on a journey that would transform not only his understanding of Sympthia, but also his very perception of the world. The next morning, as Lucius made his way through the bustling streets of Rome, he encountered a gruff centurion named Marcus. The soldier was known for his harsh demeanor and seeming lack of empathy. Lucius, remembering Seneca's challenge, saw an opportunity. Approaching Marcus, Lucius struck up a conversation. At first, the centurion was dismissive, but Lucius persisted, sharing stories of interconnectedness he had observed in nature and society. To his surprise, Marcus began to listen, his stern expression softening ever so slightly. Sensing an opening, Lucius asked Marcus about his experiences in the Roman legion. The centurion's eyes lit up as he spoke of the camaraderie among his men, how each soldier's actions affected the entire unit's success or failure. You see, Marcus, Lucius interjected gently, what you've described in your legion is a perfect example of Sympthia. Each soldier is connected to the others, just as we are all connected in the greater cosmos. Marcus furrowed his brow, considering this new perspective. Perhaps, he conceded, there is wisdom in your words, philosopher. Intrigued by Lucius's ideas, Marcus invited him to join a patrol to a nearby village. As they traveled, Lucius continued to point out examples of Sympthia in the world around them. How the actions of farmers upstream affected those downstream. How the health of one animal in a herd influenced the entire group. As they rode, they came upon a small farm where a family was struggling to repair a broken wagon wheel. Without hesitation, Marcus dismounted and offered his assistance. Lucius smiled, recognizing this act the very principle they had been discussing. Their journey took them through a lush forest. Here, Lucius asked Marcus to observe the intricate relationships between the trees, the soil, the insects, and the animals. He explained how each element played a crucial role in maintaining the balance of the entire ecosystem. Just as your actions affect your legion, Lucius explained, every living thing in this forest affects the others. This is Sympthia on a grand scale. Marcus nodded, his understanding deepening. I began to see Lucius. It's like the empire itself, each province, each citizen, connected and interdependent. As they arrived at the village, they found it in the grip of a drought. Crops were failing, and tensions were high among the villagers. Marcus, drawing on his new understanding of Sympthia, proposed a solution. He organized the villagers to work together, sharing resources and labor to dig a new well that would benefit the entire community. Lucius watched in awe as the once gruff centurion became a unifying force, embodying the very principle he had only recently learned. As the villagers worked side by side, their shared purpose creating palpable sense of connection, Lucius realized that he too was learning a deeper truth about Sympthia. As they journeyed back to Rome, Marcus spoke of treating his soldiers with more empathy, understanding that their well-being was intrinsically linked to his own. Lucius, in turn, realized that his role as a teacher was not just to impart knowledge, but to foster a sense of interconnectedness among his students. Upon their return, Lucius sought out Seneca to share his experiences. The old philosopher listened with a knowing smile as Lucius recounted his journey and the transformation he had witnessed in Marcus. "You see, my dear Lucius," Seneca said, "Sympthia is not just a concept to be understood, but a truth to be lived. In teaching Marcus, you have deepened your own understanding. And in Marcus's actions, you have seen how this understanding can ripple outward, touching countless lives." Lucius nodded, feeling a profound sense of gratitude for the journey he had undertaken. He realized that his exploration of Sympthia had only just begun, and that each day would bring new opportunities to witness and embody this cosmic truth. As he left Seneca's presence, Lucius looked up at the star-filled sky, feeling more connected than ever to the vast, intricate web of existence. He understood now that Sympthia was not just a philosophical idea, but a living, breathing reality that bound all things together in a dance of mutual interdependence. From that day forward, Lucius approached each decision with a heightened awareness of its potential impact on the greater whole. And though he knew that true mastery of Sympthia was a lifelong journey, he found joy and purpose in each step along the path, knowing that his actions, however small, contributed to the harmony of the cosmos. In a world that often feels disconnected and chaotic, Sympthia reminds us that we are all part of something greater in which every action, thought, and moment is interwoven. This Stoic idea allows us to live with a sense of unity and purpose. So, as you go about your day, remember, you are never alone. You are a vital thread in the fabric of existence. If this idea resonates with you, if you found value in exploring this ancient Stoic wisdom, don't forget to subscribe for more insights into how Stoicism can guide us toward a life of purpose, peace, and resilience. Join me on this journey, and together we'll continue to unlock the secrets of the Stoic mindset.